3 minutes left. It's 28-9. There's no way Miami's getting back in this game. I did the pregame. I said whoever gets the lead in this game first is going to win. The Dolphins were able to get up early, take a 3-0 lead. Rodgers was able to get a touchdown late in the second half. The offense was terrible in the first half, was only able to put up 7 points in the first half. Other than that drive that they did put up in the first half for 7, the offense didn't do anything. And then they came out in the second half. And to me, it looked like Mike Tomlin essentially handed over the keys to the offense to Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers just went out there and completely cooked. Uh, so, can the Steelers make the playoffs? In my opinion, I said it a few weeks ago that the biggest problem right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers is the offense and not the defense. Yeah, the defense has been giving up a lot of yards and they've been getting gashed in certain games. But those games, if you look at it, the defense is basically on the field the entire game. Arthur Smith's out there trying to run it every time on first down, trying to run it every time on second down, coming out of these heavy sets that honestly Aaron Rodgers doesn't like playing out of. Aaron Rodgers ran a West Coast offense his entire career, and in the second half, it seems like this team basically handed the keys over to Aaron Rodgers, and that's really what needed to be done and what the Steelers needed to have happen. This offense looked completely different this week and last week against the Ravens. I didn't see any 5 receiver sets all year long, but the last 2 games, the Steelers offensively have been opening it up. And that's really what you need to do because the Steelers, they cannot run it downhill on teams. Their rushing attack has been terrible this year. They're 29th in the league in rushing. And when Aaron Rodgers is out there calling the plays, coming out of these 3 wide, 4 wide sets, it opens up the running lanes because he's passing. It forces defenses have to back off and play in zone coverage to where that makes it easier for Gainwell and Warren to get to the second level and make things happen in the open field because that's really the type of running backs there are. They're not really in between the tackles type of runners. They're more or less open field running backs, and you have to be able to get them in the open field. And with this offense that Aaron Rodgers is running and the Steelers opening it up and being more aggressive on offense, this is how they're going to be able to win in the playoffs. This is how they're going to be able to beat teams like if they, as it stands now, they'd have to play the Buffalo Bills or another team that can put up a lot of points in the AFC. I don't know. The Bills are one that stand out to me, though. And you got to score, and you got to score a lot with those teams. And you got to open it up. The score, it's the score. The Dolphins just scored, but this game's basically over. So what's the score now? That it's 28-15. So no, I'm mad because of my Chiefs. Listen, all right, I don't care. Your Chiefs are eliminated, but Steelers are in playoff contention. Pretty much, they just got a game lead on the Baltimore Ravens. They're 8-6. The Ravens are 7-7. Technically, the Steelers can still finish this season 8-9. The Ravens can still finish this season 10-7. So it ain't over until it's over. The NFL season's a marathon, not a sprint, and the Steelers have a very tough game next week up against the Detroit Lions, and the Ravens have a tough game against the New England Patriots. If the Ravens lose that game and the Steelers win, it's over. I think if the Steelers just win next week against the Lions, the division's sealed up. It's 9-8. There's no the Ravens could still technically finish 10-7. So if the Ravens lose and the Steelers win, they're automatically in. Steelers lose, and the Ravens win. They're tied. They're what? We got a game on them, so we'll still have a game on them. So they can afford to lose to the Lions. I don't want them to lose to the Lions. I don't think they're going to beat the Lions. I really don't. The Lions are a better team than the Steelers, but they are very injured right now, so anything's possible. And the way this offense played tonight, it's a totally different offense. The last 2 weeks I've been seeing a totally different offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're opening it up, and they're actually able to put some points on the board. And that's what the Steelers need, 100%. And they can beat the Lions. Because if you actually go out there and sustain drives and you don't leave the defense out on the field the whole entire game, their numbers are going to look a lot better than what they've been looking. And that's why the numbers have looked so bad, in my opinion, for the Pittsburgh Steelers is because their defense has been out on the field the entire game. The offense hasn't really been doing much other than Arthur Smith running it on first down, running it on second down, and then we're in a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Now that Aaron Rodgers isn't opening it up and dinking and dunking, give the defense a nice break, forces teams to throw the ball, and you force turnovers, and that's how they came away with this win. So that's how it goes. I need to get a mod to get these people out of here. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. I mean, the Steelers, what do they need? They go to 8-6 now. 2 more wins, it's guaranteed. They beat the Lions. They beat the Browns. There's no way the Ravens are going to catch the Steelers. No way. Make sure you hit the like and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the share button. What's up, Mac, man? Steelers are making the playoffs. And I don't hear nobody yelling fire Tomlin right now. Where's the fire Tomlin crowd? Because Mike Tomlin or Mark Madden, he's going to be out there. It doesn't matter. Who cares? The Dolphins suck. The Steelers are going to lose in the playoffs anyway. If we let Aaron Rodgers come out here and call the plays and let the defense do what the defense does, who's to say we can't win a playoff game? In my opinion, I think the Bills are going to come back, catch the Patriots, win that division, and then ipso facto, if that's the case, guess what? The Steelers would then have to play the Patriots in Pittsburgh, and they already beat New England in their house. So who's to say they can't win a play? That's what Mark Madden, that's what the media is going to say. After he said the Steelers are going to finish dead last, fire Tomlin, last week, 2 weeks ago, everybody yelling fire Tomlin. Now I'm looking like this team's a playoff team. We get 1 more win, 2 more wins. The Ravens lose again. We win. It's over, bro. We in the playoffs. Where's the Ravens at? They're 7-7. Colts are in the hunt. Hey. Wild card, the Chargers. As it stands right now, we play the Chargers. We'll play the Chargers. That'll be interesting. But I want to see the Bills leapfrog the Patriots, which is very possible. Win that division, and that's who I want the Steelers to play more than anybody, is the New England Patriots. We've already beat them this year, and I think the Steelers can beat the New England Patriots again. Drake May's, second-year quarterback. This defense is going to confuse him. It's going to scatter him. They're not the best at running the ball. I don't think the Patriots are really that good. They had a 4th-place schedule. The Steelers had a way harder schedule than the Patriots. They can beat the Patriots. The Bills will be a tough out. Chargers will be a tough out. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to play neither one of those teams. I'm scared of Josh Allen, and I'm scared of Justin Herbert. I ain't going to lie. I mean, can they beat him? Yeah, but I would feel much more comfortable against the Patriots at home. Go on to the next round, and we'll see. Jared Goff can be erratic when he's pressured. Well, this team can get after it. And they do have a lot of injuries. But they got a good defense. Number-wise, if we're talking straight statistics, I was looking at their stats. Like, offensively, they just blow the Steelers out of the water. Defensively, they're about even. But the Lions have a ton of injuries, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm liking this. I'm liking what the Steelers are doing. I'm liking what they're doing now on offense, that they got these new receivers. I haven't seen them run 5 receiver sets all year except these past 2 games. So what that's telling me is Mike Tomlin is basically saying, fuck you, Arthur Smith. We're handing the keys over to Aaron Rodgers. We're letting him spread it out, and we're letting him open it up, and we're letting him dictate the pace of this offense in this game. Because usually, I haven't even seen, besides these past 2 games, I haven't even seen him running and hurry-up offense. Like when we lost to the Bills and everybody was booing Tomlin and telling him to fire Tomlin and everything, they were out there literally coming out of bunch sets down against the Bills. Like we had a lead this game, and they're coming out of 5 wide. So what that tells me is Tomlin says, you know what, Aaron? I trust you. You're my guy. You got the keys. Go out there and get this dub. And that's what he did. And you got to continue this way. Let him go out being Aaron Rodgers, man. You rolled the red carpet out. The biggest problem for the Steelers the last few years has been the quarterback position. It hasn't been the defense. Hasn't been the running game. Hasn't been the offensive line. It's been the horrible quarterback play from Kenny Pickett, from Mitchell Trubisky, from Russell Wilson, who blew multiple games last year, who Justin Fields just can't get it. They couldn't get it done. Is not an NFL quarterback. To now we got Aaron Rodgers, a guy who's a legitimate quarterback, a guy who legitimately can read a defense. and a guy that can toy with you. Dink and dunk, keep the offense on the field, maintain drives, and finish drives. And then when you go out there with the highest paid defense that's not forced to be on the field the entire game, you give them a little bit of insurance pointage, then you can really start getting aggressive. You can really start sending blitzes, and you can really start disguising your coverages and taking risks to where you force turnovers and dominate games like this. And hey, they'll say the Dolphins suck, which they're right. The Dolphins suck. But what I'm seeing from this offense the past 2 weeks is a completely different offense. And that's been the biggest problem for the Steelers the past 4 or 5 years, bro. So this offense is totally different these past 2 weeks, and they need to continue to do this. They can't continue to play hyper-conservative offensively. They got to be willing to be aggressive, open it up, give the defense the lead, and get the dub for the Steelers. So can they? Will they? I don't know. There's the man, Danny Smith. This is a big win. Steelers are 8-6. And it's pretty much going to take a miracle for the Ravens to get in the playoffs and the Steelers to blow this thing. They need to stay humble, go into next week, handle Lions. If they don't take care of business against Cleveland, it'll be wrapped up because the Ravens got Green Bay and they got the Patriots coming up next. So they're going to at least lose one of those 2 games. If the Steelers beat the Browns and they beat the Lions, it's over. So what, we going to fire Tomlin now that we're going to make the playoffs? Come on, man. Ain't happening. Now, if they don't win a playoff game, will they fire him? No. But the Steelers have a team option in 2027. So if I'm the Roonies, let's just, worst case scenario. We don't win a game the rest of the year. Are they going to fire Tomlin? Probably not. Because in 2027, they have the option. So this is a man who's never had a losing season. This is a man who's going to pass Chuck Noll all time in wins in Steelers history. So they're going to fire him. All right? They're going to say, you got us a Super Bowl. You took us to 2. You've had 19 years of competitive football with us. We're going to give you a chance to right this ship. And if you don't have postseason success when your option's up, we're not gonna take on the option. We're going to say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. But the way I see it now, I honestly see the Steelers playing the Patriots, and I would love that more than anything. And I see them winning a playoff game this year. I seen them winning the division this year. I predicted them to go to 10-7 this year. I predicted them to win the division. And I think it's going to happen. And I think we're going to get New England in the playoffs. And I think the Steelers are going to win a playoff game. And then who they get in the next round? Probably Denver, maybe. But I think the Steelers can beat Bo Nix and scatter Bo Nix. And then who will we play in the AFC Championship game? I don't know. Chargers? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm liking our chances. Let's go.